Oh, hello. Good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Maffinder. Now it's time to get the peas out. And what better position for the peas than the pea cage, which is this. A pea and bean house. I'll give you a proper look at it in a second, but I've got to get these off. These have been suppressing the weeds over the winter time, so I've got to get those off and see what the soil's like underneath before I replenish it again. So let's get cracking. Yep. That's our pea and bean cage, if you like, or pea and bean house. The peas are going to be going into there. These are the onward peas, early onwards, and they're ready to go out now. So I've just got to get all that off there, replenish the soil, get the plants in, and then close it off so the pigeons can't get in and attack my peas. Now, of course, the pigeons are not so crass as to just deliberately vandalise the peas. They want the actual pea pods, the pea shoots. More the pea shoots, really. They'll chomp away at them. So I'm going to protect them with a netting. It's easy enough to do, guys. And those are the pea plants that we're going to be planting out today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those 3 trays, get them out to the plot, and we'll take it from there. I've got to uncover it, check the soil, all that kind of thing. You'll see. Okay, so that's what it looks like underneath. I've just roughened the soil up, and there were plenty of worms in it. They've all gone underground now, apart from him. But there are plenty in there. I unearthed about 20 as I was roughening the soil. So onto that, I'm going to put the bloodfish and bone. We've got the bloodfish and bone here. Bloodfish and bone meal in there. Resplendent with its scoop. And I'm going to put a full scoop on that of the fertiliser, the bloodfish and bone. Kind of an all-purpose fertiliser. Last year it did have manure in it. It had the farmyard manure in it last year. So it's probably exhausted, that manure now, but that gives it that organic matter to sort of break up the soil and get rid of some like clagginess and clayiness out of the soil. So I think it had quite a bit of the organic farmyard manure last year. But that was at the start of the growing season, or just before the growing season last year. I added that in. And I was checking on the soil, to be honest with you, just to see whether or not it needed to have any more organic matter added into it. But it doesn't. It's quite light, it's quite fluffy. Or relatively light and fluffy. You look at that. Quite well aerated. I put, what do you call it, in some perlite in there as well. Last year, you can see the little white blobs knocking around, hopefully. And that's perlite. Again, a naturally occurring substance, perlite. And that just aerates the soil. And also it helps with moisture retention and drainage. It's like a dual purpose. It does the both. Retains the moisture, but also drains down. And helps to prevent the waterlogging, which you don't want. Peas aren't all that fussy, really, but like any plant, to get the best results, you give them the best attention. Boys and girls, give them what they want. Now, there are nitrogen fixing nodes with peas and beans, but they don't tend, or I believe they don't tend, to use the nitrogen fixing nodes which are on the root system themselves. It sort of helps to add nitrogen in to a nitrogen depleted soil if you do grow beans and peas and other pulses, and then have them as a cut and drop, sort of a cover crop. It does add nitrogen into the soil, but like any plant really, it needs your NPK and it needs the micronutrients and the macronutrients to grow to its best potential. Sound like I know what I'm on about there, don't I? But they do, you little babies. So there we go with that, all roughened up. Sluggish, these worms, aren't they? Look at that. He's sluggish, him. Alright, mate, sorry for disturbing you. There's another western yellow centipede. Found about 6 or 7 in here just by doing this. A western yellow centipede, that. The land around here is full of those. Don't think they do any harm. I'll research it and let you know, but yeah, the western yellow, that's what he is. Western yellow centipede. Goes about 3 inches long at the biggest. The biggest I've seen anyway. And you come on a garden worm there. Love peas. I mean, you can eat those in a fancy restaurant. It's pea shoots. They're about the right size at the moment. But we're going to let them grow onto their full fruition. And they can be quite closely planted together, the peas, I'll show you. Now, all I've done is I've got my paws in there, made a few holes, ready to receive the peas, and there are 18 holes because we've got 18 cells with peas in them. Now each cell's got at least 1 pea plant, sometimes 2 or 3 in the mix, but they're all going to be planted in together. So altogether probably we're going to be having around about, I don't know, if we say 2 pods per cell, that's going to be 36 pea plants growing in this space, which is 4 feet by 2 feet. And really, to be honest, you get away with putting more in there, but I'm going to give them a little bit of elbow room, give them a bit of a better chance. Alright guys, now I've had just had a phone call from Mother McCree, so she's had me on for about half an hour. Lovely to speak to her, but I just had to crack on. But I'll show you the results. I've just planted them all in now, and I'll show you where we're up to. So it's actually completed now. So planted them all in, firmed them all down, and then so that they can climb up, we've got these sticks in place, and sticks in the form of bamboo canes. They'll hopefully, with the tendrils, grab onto each other. That's what they tend to do, grab onto each other and grab onto the sticks and climb up. You can put intertwines, oh excuse me, you can put like twines around them and stuff like that for them to climb. But we've found last couple of years that they'll just grab onto each other and they'll work the way up the sticks, grabbing hold of the sticks with the tendrils and support each other that way as they go up. If you put enough of these sticks in, they'll be fine. They'll be more than fine, really. They'll thrive. Fingers crossed. Well, yeah, there's quite a few in there. I'd say there's about 40. There's more pods, more of the cells, sorry, had 3 in than 2 in. So, yeah, up they go. Happy days. All right, thanks very much, guys. Like I say, I've just nipped up after work and done that. You've got to do a bit, really, when you've got 2 big plots like us. They're both our plots, these. It's about 42 feet by about 70 feet. The land that we've got available. So we're lucky in that respect. We've just paid the rent too, so we're all set for next year. As long as I can keep on top of the weeding. But yeah, if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. This has been Guru Mafinda. Keep growing with your heads down. And remember, we love you all. Have a fantastic rest of the week, guys. Alright, take care. Guru out. Ta-da.